Same. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
all I got to say about that.
Dude, she was terrible. I don't remember what, earlier today they were playing like a montage.
Yeah.
And it was just like, dude, I feel like I'm spiraling into the core of the earth.
It's the window, isn't it? Let's talk window. Go up. That one.
Caroline, leave it.
And remember the window capture on that? No.
No.
Oh, do you have a video?
No, I just said put a photo of her.
Remember? No. Go down to the right of that. Yeah, right there. And then now, yeah, maybe there it is.
Oh, wait, that's Caroline. Is that who you're wanting to see?
What is it you're looking for?
The blonde. That's the new one.
Yeah. Caroline, leave it.
Carl.
Yes. What's her name?
Caroline, leave it.
Oh, okay.
Caroline, leave it. That's what I'm saying.
I was like, is it Carl?
Caitlin.
Okay.
I was right, dude. Caitlin, Caroline. Hey, man, it's the same thing, dude.
Okay.
Jose, Beto, it's same thing, dude.
But that the lawsuit had to do with because she was saying she only got her position because she was attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That she was a 10.
Yeah. And so
Who said that?
Whoopi.
Was it Whoop? Well, I thought it was Joy. I think it was Joy Behar that made the direct comment, and that was the lawsuit.
Really?
Because they were basically saying I don't remember the name of the lawsuit or what they did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care.
But it had to do with that.
But I know that Whoopi's over there saying that the only reason why she has her job is because of wokeness. If it wasn't for the woke people, she wouldn't have a job to go to.
Who wouldn't?
This woman right here, Caroline.
Oh, really?
Okay,
Yeah.
go, Justin, you can take it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can take it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You know, it's really, really good to see these people just go back into their hole.
Yeah.
And hopefully they just stay there.
But see, this is where I'm confused. Is if it's because of woke, and because so a woman could be on. I thought there was no genders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know.
I thought there was no difference.
So I mean, I saw some guy on TikTok. He said,
Hey, you said guy.
I saw this person. I saw one of them on TikTok, and he said that if having genitals doesn't make me a man, then why does cutting them off make me a woman? I was like, damn. I'm waiting for somebody to answer me that one because that was great.
You mean it makes them a birthing person?
Yeah.
Wow.
I loved it.
Wow.
But I mean, hey, man, this is what we had to see for the last 4 years. How can you not allow us to make fun of it? You know what I'm saying? I remember I saw another one that said, TikTok that said, Trump's back in office. We can start making fun of each other again.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, I love it.
There was a state, I want to say Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Wisconsin that passed the measure that you can't say mother anymore? You have to say birthing person.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just like master bedroom. They weren't allowed to sell a master bedroom.
Yeah, they were trying to change that.
It
Yeah.
was primary
Yeah,
bedroom. Primary bedroom.
Because
it was racist.
Oh, because master?
Mhm.
that was the master's bedroom.
Interesting.
It's
And-
really not. It was really not, dude.
But I'm just like, dude, do not words.
We are now dumber.
Dude,
Oh, yeah. Hold on. You're right. Oh, man, what did I do?
I don't know.
I lost my little names.
Hold on, guys.
Hold on.
Punchline's coming.
Oh. Not that one.
Then show Joy Reid.
Not that one.
Then show Joy Reid.
Nope, not that one either.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, I'm just like, have you people not learned? Like, how are you still trying to push this stuff? Like the governor of Massachusetts getting into that governor argument during the meeting with Trump.
Oh yeah, from Maine.
Maine.
Yeah. Did you hear whenever she said about, or he said, I'll take you to court.
Yeah.
I'll see you in court.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. And he said, and Uncle Donald was like, oh yeah, man, I'll see you in court. That's an easy one.
Yeah. And then afterwards, you won't have a career in politics
Oh yeah,
anymore.
that's what he said.
Oh man.
No, that's good stuff. And I can't wait because I hope they have cameras when they when they open up the Fort Knox door.
When are they going to do that?
I haven't heard when. They're wanting to go and check if there's gold still there.
Yeah.
That's a crazy thing to say though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have wondered that. I didn't know I wasn't the only one that was wondering that.
I remember an old Bugs Bunny episode where they were trying to break in there.
I wonder if he's in there.
There was a diehard that took care of Fort Knox. He said it, New York's Fort Knox or something like that. And that's whenever they blew up the subway and they went in through the subway.
Oh, okay. Where is Fort Knox?
I don't know.
Treasury.
Yeah, I know what it is. I don't know
where.
I would say I don't know where it is.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe Fort Knox?
I don't know.
That's like saying, when is the 4th of July, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
But
Kentucky.
no, I knew that was that. Did you guys
Kentucky?
Okay.
Kentucky.
Did you guys also see I think this came out probably about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, the most Googled thing that was happening in the D.C. area?
Yeah, I saw that.
Criminal defense attorneys.
Yeah. Yeah, they're looking up criminal attorneys.
Like, it just skyrocketed when Trump.
That was the most thing Googled in D.C. in the last few weeks.
Yep.
Really?
They're looking for attorneys.
When they started the DOGE thing, that like day one.
Oh, yeah.
Number one thing that was Googled in that area.
Wow.
Was defense attorneys.
I'm telling you.
Back to fantasy land and believing the cat never catches grease.
Yep.
Straight up, bro. I mean, how much, dude? Just say that you did it.
Yeah.
We would probably not believe you if you came out so honestly. Like, there's no way he did it. Look at how blunt he is. There's no way he did it. But you doing all of what they're doing and trying to hide and lawyer up and do all this, you're just saying, it's me. These people, bro.
They're crazy. Like,
no,
I would like that Jon Stewart episode.
Which one?
That he was talking about DOGE, and he was talking about his, the problems he has with it. He cut himself on the bit. Mm-hmm. Like, he gets mad and he crushes a coffee mug on the desk, because DOGE is diving into all this stuff, and he literally cuts himself, and he's like, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital later. And he literally.
Oh, he really did.
He really did, like in real life, and he had to put his hand below the desk while he finished his bit. But his whole rant for about 12 minutes was Elon, getting your social security information.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's is that a possibility that maybe some information, let's be honest here, has that crossed my mind? Yeah, that's crossed my mind. You know what? But it doesn't stop me when I'm hearing everything they're finding. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you just focus on that and not go, okay, that's fine. You want to talk about that and security and all those other things? I'm willing to talk about that.
Yeah.
But why are you willing to throw out the conversation of all the corruption and the misuse and the abuse of finances over here? Just because, hey, I feel like they're going to grab our information.
I don't know. What was the other thing we were talking about though? Oh, the Congo. Let's go to that real quick.
Well, before,
or you still?
Well, let's save that because I think we're going to be there for a minute.
Okay.
I got nothing.
I thought you were looking.
I am. I was looking up for the DOGE. I typed in what's the latest thing that DOGE has found.
Yeah.
But I was just listening to what you were saying. Yeah, I didn't know you were done with it.
Oh, no. Before that, I wanted to throw something out. Just the reason why I brought up Dan. How do you pronounce his last name?
Bongino.
Bongino.
Mm-hmm.
I'd read and I'd heard
He was previously FBI, right? Or Secret Service.
Secret Service for Obama, Clinton, and I don't know if he went farther back than that or not.
Oh man, you dirty.
I don't, or maybe it was Bush and Obama, but something like that. But I know he served on the Obama
He's
side.
not that old.
Yeah, maybe it was Obama and Bush. But one of them was Tim Cast, and then I read somewhere else that his podcast generated anywhere between $15 to $30 million annually.
So in case you guys don't know who we're talking about, let's start there because they don't know what we're talking about.
You want to look up his
He's a YouTuber.
Wikipedia?
Is he a YouTuber?
Yeah, he's a YouTuber.
Yeah. He was a previous
What's his name
Secret
again?
Service.
Dan
Bongino?
Yeah, Dan Bongino. Yeah.
Look up a photo, Justin, if you can find it.
So guys, before Angel talks about it, that way it gives you some context.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, he's been on YouTube a lot. He's been on PBD a lot. I think
Rogan.
He's been on Joe Rogan. Has he been on PBD?
Yeah,
Joe Rogan
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, he's been on PBD.
Do you want me to read off what his
Yeah.
wiki says?
Yeah.
Is an American conservative, a political commentator, radio host, author, and former law enforcement officer, serving as a deputy, the 20th deputy director of the federal FBI. The host, the Dan Bongino show on Rumble, previously hosted Unfiltered with Dan Bongino for Fox News. Bongino began his career as a New York police officer from 95 to 99. He got into the U.S. Secret Service from 99 to 11. He later ran for Congress 3 times as a Republican, though unsuccessfully. February 23rd, 2025, President Donald Trump announced that Bongino had been named the next deputy director of the FBI and assumed office on February 24th. You want to know his education?
No.
Okay.
What's his, how tall is he?
They have that, dude. Hold that real quick. He is 6'3".
But did you watch his last, or not his last show, but his announcement show?
I honestly don't even watch this guy.
No,
Have you ever seen a
I
clip?
know who he is. I don't watch his show.
I've never watched his show. I've seen him as a guest.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Oh, I've seen tons of his clips. Yeah. I've never watched an entire show.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of
Is it all political stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a pretty intense guy.
Yeah.
And
He seems it.
and so but what just struck me was his worth in his business of what he's walking away from. That generating between possibly $15 to $30 million annually as a podcaster
Right now.
He's walking away
From YouTube?
from
Oh man, I'm just trying to get our internet paid.
But that's what I'm
Anyways.
saying. To what is his pay salary going to be? $225,000?
Yeah.
$250,000?
Another guy with money, though. What did I say it on here before?
So-
Did I say it on here about how he keeps hiring billionaires?
Yeah.
Another guy with money who doesn't care about the money.
But that's what I'm saying. Was it just kind of putting him and Cash together.
Yeah.
And you know what? And one of the things that I think it was Tim Pool said, he goes, the difficulty that the FBI is about to face, and the hard walk up that hill that they're about to walk, they needed somebody else to walk right there with him.
Yeah.
And that way, he said, because now you have 2 people who have, one, you got this social media end of it, mogul side, that he knows how to get information out if he needs to. And then you got Kash Patel, who's been part of all of this and, with the FBI and strategy and all this stuff. And it's just like, you put these 2 guys together, they're walking away from the business side of it. And I know when Kash Patel was going through his interview and they were throwing up, I don't know if you guys seen when they were throwing his sweatshirts up, and they were like, this guy he's just in it for the money. He's selling sweatshirts and T-shirts and all this.
See that.
No? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they brought up all that stuff. And it's like, dude, how come you don't say anything about AOC?
Yeah.
AOC sells shirts and hats.
She puts her makeup on her Instagram.
Yeah, I know. Like, y'all don't say nothing about that.
Yeah. So, my thing is this is I know there's people on here that watch us and, maybe they like what we talk about, or maybe we make fool of ourselves. I don't know why, and that don't like Trump or didn't vote for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. You know what I mean? I mean, he's an interesting fellow that just kind of rubs people wrong. But I'm curious if let's say you didn't vote for Trump or don't like Trump or whatever. Now that you're seeing that he is bringing people in to kind of clean out the FBI, clean out the Treasury, clean out these businesses, clean out can are we at the point yet where you can admit and say, you know what, if Trump was out of the way, let's say it was somebody else, Cookie Monster, could you say that this is the right thing for America right now?
Exactly.
That's what I'm curious about, because is it the fact that it's Trump that you can't admit that somebody is going and cleaning house? Or is it just because of the fact that it's him? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm just curious about that.
Is it so much Trump derangement syndrome?
Yeah.
That you can't just look at it and go, okay, take his name out of it.
Yeah.
What they're doing and what they're wanting and attempting to do, can you not say, you know what, if it was a Democrat sitting in office,
Yeah.
Would you feel the same way? Or would you say, you know what, as a nation, I think we needed to clean up some things.
Yeah. Yeah. And that blows me away, especially the stuff that DOGE has found, and continues to find.
Yeah.
I mean, and all the way from the IRS, Social Security, everything. Isn't it a good thing to clean things out?
Well,
And
not just that, David, but what are they? They're always talking about the wealthy. Trump's get. These are people. Remember years ago when we went to San Francisco, to We Are Church, and for that day that we spent that day up there, and we were out there and just kind of going through, meeting with people, and there was a couple stories that we heard. I never met them, but I had heard, and I to this day I've heard other stories similar.
Yeah.
That wealthy people have left wealthy communities and sold their house and bought a small home in the inner city, so their home could be an embassy of Christ in that community.
Yeah.
They downsized their life. They put their family in jeopardy, in these violent areas.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, can you not see some of these men? Listen, whether you believe Trump or whatever, and you have your feeling and all this stuff, but when I heard that number from Dan Bongino and where in what he's stepping into, you've got to say, there's got to be something to say, dude, that's a true believer, man.
Yeah.
And there's something there is some value there instead of joy. I had value. No, that's real value of him stepping away from a business to step into this role. Because what happens if in 4 years he's first one kicked out?
Yeah.
How does he start? How do you regenerate that again in 4 years? How do you do that?
Yeah.
That is his business. It's not it's not investments.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's another thing. It's one thing when left-wing journalists and say this and that, but when you have people in Congress that they themselves are career politicians and somehow they're millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
They're millionaires, even though they've been politicians for 20 years. We're supposed to know how much money they've gotten every single year. But then they call names to people like Elon. And they're like, oh, he's trying to make 35. You think he cares about $35 million? The guy has 300-something billion. He couldn't spend his money in his life.
No.
He couldn't do it. Huh?
3 generations couldn't do that.
No, you can't.
That's insane.
It just.
But he wants to know your Social Security information.
Yeah.
Here you go, Mr.
Yeah.
Here you
Here,
go,
I'll
Mr.
give
Musk.
it to you so maybe you can
I
deposit
was gonna
something
say,
in.
Yeah.
Take from whatever you're finding and hook a brother up real quick, man.
But that was the thing, because like Dan Crenshaw, the big deal that they've been talking about with his name recently, he's a Republican, military guy, and him and the guy that got fired from Fox News, my mind just went blank. Tucker Carlson have been going back and forth, and the big thing from him is, and now you got people from the right going, well, this is why why Trump never brought him in.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, why? Look at the value of worth he's worth now before where he's at right now.
Who's this?
Dan Crenshaw.
Okay.
And look at how the value of his finances was when he stepped in.
Yeah.
How did he go from here to there?
Who?
Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah.
How did his wealth go as a senator or congressman?
Did you see? I know you did because we talked about it. But remember that video a couple weeks ago or a week ago or something like that? Whenever the Department of Education were not being allowed in.
Oh yeah.
Remember the short little black lady that was in there?
Waters?
Yeah. Waters. Right?
Oh my gosh.
So I saw a video, long story, and then and then you dive in and you find out all the truth and whatever. So I'm not getting in all of it. But before the Biden administration took over, her worth, they don't ever tell you the full worth, right? But whatever, her worth was like 2-point-something million, something along the lines of that, right? I don't remember exact numbers. So again, we just remember things.
Yeah.
So it's like 2.5 million. By right now, while he's doing all what he's doing, while DOGE is going through, it's like 23 million.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it goes on and on and on. The one woman, the Pakistani woman who was fighting for free Pakistan.
Oh, yeah. I know you.
Right.
With glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
She's another one. Like she had I don't know, like $200,000 or something like that.
When she went
her
in?
net worth, yeah, and now she's worth like 10 million or something like that. Something.
How does that happen?
Exactly.
Show me that trick.
Yeah, show me that, please, man. Because
show me the money.
Show me the investment that you're making. Because I don't. Yes, there is people who can do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
all of them.
But I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi, right? I mean, she's in there for what is that called? When you're fixing the stock market, what's that called?
Insider trading.
Insider trading, yeah. You know what I mean? That's what they're all doing. So,
but that's why
I say it loud and proud.
But that's why that hit me with Dan. I'm like, dude, do you one of the biggest, and when you study apologetics, one of the biggest arguments for the truth of the resurrection is the explosion that took place.
Yeah.
For quote unquote a lie.
Mm-hmm.
How do you explain that? How do you explain not only that, but his brothers coming along that lie?
Yeah.
His mother coming along that lie, calling him Lord. Like, how do you explain that? And not to compare the two, but just as an example. And then so you've got someone like Dan Bongino, and I'm just like, dude, you've got to look at this for face value.
Yeah.
This guy's stepping down. Some of these guys are stepping down into these roles and going, this is what's right.
Yeah. They're doing it for love of country.
Yeah.
And they're patriots. They just, you know what it is they understand that their kids and their children's children are going to live in this country.
And if somebody didn't do this now, where would this be if this was Kamala?
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Man, dude, that's a horrible thought.
I mean, but that was a reality. That almost was a reality.
I don't even want to think about that.
Oh man, that's a horrible thought, bro. That's like cussing at me. That's like hitting my wife. You know what I mean? That's just a horrible, horrible thought, dude. Yeah, that's.
Wow.
That's why I said the other day, man. Like, I totally get why they're all mad right now at DOGE. I do, because they're watching all their money vanish right before their eyes.
They hate him more than Trump right now.
Yeah. And I think that was one of the...
Oh, yeah.
And Trump's over there in press conference doing his thing, standing up for him, letting him know, like, hey, man, if you didn't do anything wrong, then what are you tripping? When did you ever see Trump tripping? Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all of our life, we've never seen him trip out like, oh, my God, my money, my money, my money. until he probably started tripping whenever he saw his money declining because of the way that the country was being ran.
Yeah.
So then that's when he was
So
like,
he ran.
"Oh, yeah, let's go. Let's make America great again. Like I said, I firmly believe that Trump is a man who depends on the government because he knows how to play the game. And so, because he knows how to do this, he knows what to do. This is what our country allows us to do. And that's why he's successful. And that's why I keep saying over and over and over again, he's able to pick these people up. It's really bad for these people because these people don't depend on politic money.
Yeah.
They have their own money. You just said he's worth 300-something billion.
Yeah.
You got Bobby.
You couldn't waste that if you tried.
You got Bobby coming in. Look at how many generations their money has been living through.
And that hadn't even started yet.
Exactly. That's my point.
That has not even started yet.
Again, another man who does not depend on political money like they all do. Look at Biden. What has Biden done that's good for our country since he's been in politics? I can't think of anything.
Just speaking of RFK, there was I think it was Temple, one of the girls that was on his staff that, comes in periodically.
No, Bangina.
And she was saying that, I don't know what state it was. I don't know if it was California. I think it was California. Her son had to have brain surgery.
Yeah.
And he was, I want to say 2 maybe at the time. And they did something similar we did where they didn't have no vaccinations as a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And her thing was, I want to allow, let my baby get older, let me do my own research, and let me decide as we go.
Yeah.
Let's. I'm not saying they're all bad, but dude, why are you wanting to punch a bunch of holes in my kid right when he's born?
Yeah.
But then he had to have brain surgery. She said that the doctor told him, I don't have anything, but they won't let me do this unless he's completely caught up on all vaccinations.
Wow.
And she said he had to have 17 shots.
17.
Yeah. Before brain surgery. I want to say the child was 2.
That's insane.
And she said, it was horrific to see them one after another on the legs.
Mm.
And she said, just so he could have brain surgery.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, why is it so wrong just to ask the question? Can we look at what's in here? Can we make sure that this has no effect?
Yeah.
Can we do this together right now? Why is it so wrong to ask a question? And we haven't even opened up that Pandora's box just yet on all the FDA stuff and all the all the medical stuff. Dude, they haven't touched the commercials going right now. Yeah.
No.
Nothing. They say right here in Forbes is a trip. And I read this article right now as we were going through so I could see what it is. And they're so just one-sided. It's funny. But, you heard about DOGE possibly starting to cut checks. Have you heard about that?
No.
That DOGE removes biggest spending cuts. Here's
the 5,000 that they're wanting to.
The 5,000.
I heard that wouldn't be till next summer.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, that's some of the things that they're talking about right now that's in circulation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so this one right here says that, all the fact checks Forbes is saying about how Political, Washington Post, New York Times, and others started fact checking and found that the list that was let go, like the condoms and the gendered language and all that stupidness.
Sesame Street.
Yeah, Sesame Street. Oh, man, I forgot. Damn, Big Bird, bro.
That's stopping terrorists.
Everyone in this room is now dumber.
Man, he was paying for a bigger bird. Man, dude, that's hilarious, dude. That they deleted, they fact checked, and there was a bunch of errors. And New York Times reported that DOGE has deleted the 5 biggest savings on the original list quietly. I mean, they're in press conferences
every
in
day,
the Oval Office, telling you what they're doing. They're being very, very silent about it all. The errors range from the simple miscalculations to outright mispresentations of government contracts. And yet, despite backtracking on its initial figures, DOGE now claims it saved 65 billion when really it's up to 55 billion. This is what it says.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And without clear explanation of how it reached that number.
So they're saying there's a $10 billion difference.
Yeah.
Okay. What about all the billions of dollars they can't find from Ukraine?
I mean, it's just, I mean, we can, that's what I said. Like, I just wanted to bring up the fact that they're talking about the checks with DOGE and that they're talking about this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I remember watching, I think it was probably about 3-4 days ago, I was watching an interview with, it could have been a little bit longer, with Trump and Elon. And it's from Haney. It was on the Haney Report.
Uh-huh.
And so he was in there interviewing, and he's a big fan. He's known Donald for many years. And Donald said, you're the only reason why I took this is because of our friendship for so many years. And it wasn't a smear interview. It was like, clarify some things for us, you know? And he said about, again, don't quote me on the number, but we'll just say like 94% of the people working for DOGE are not getting paid.
They're not getting paid?
Yeah. He's all, nobody on the DOGE team is getting paid. And then Elon was like, well, technically that's not true.
Yeah.
And he was like, can you explain that? And then he was like, yeah, like 94%. Again, don't quote me on that. Just read up on it. 94% of them are not getting paid. But then the other 6%, they're federal employees. So they're getting a federal government paycheck.
Yeah, there was a percentage of them that are federal employees.
But I mean, dude, he's bringing in, and then he also said, why would these people want to go ahead and make a check to check kind of thing when we get done doing everything we're doing and they get a lump sum? And I'm like, see, that's billionaire talk, that all these people who work and clock in and clock out, we're thinking clock in, clock out. These people are thinking, here's everything plus a bonus, plus this, all in one hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's that billionaire talk we don't know about.
You know,
I'm trying to learn that language.
My only concern is, did they answer the 5 questions of what they did last week?
Haney didn't ask any of those questions.
I wanted to. I don't think it should be 5 questions. I think Elon should knock in the door and say,
I'm about finished waiting for my money, punk.
that should be the only question right there.
That was perfect.
See,
Perfect
for
play,
everyone,
bro.
if you have never worked from home, I work from home.
Yeah, I do too.
And so I deal with this all the time. I have to fill out a report at the end of every week of what I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've got to do a mileage report of where I went and why I went.
yeah.
I have to fill that out. And so if I want to be compensated for my mileage,
Yeah.
if I want to make sure on the up and up, now mind you, I go to my office 3 to 4 times a week. I stop by there for at least 2-3 hours every day.
What city?
Livermore.
Oh.
Or it depends. I mean, if I'm in Sacramento, I'll go to Sacramento. If I'm in Livermore, I'll go to Livermore. And plus, I'm on the phone with him every day. We got emails going back and forth. But even with that, I have to fill them out a report. I have several questions, different things of what I got to do. And then the last part of that is, what does my week look like coming next week?
Yeah.
So I have not only do I have to answer what I did this week,
You have to project.
I have to project. And so it's a sheet. So it's not 5. I've got probably 11 questions that I got to go through.
Yeah.
Every day. And it's like, how would it look if I went and been like, dude, that's not fair. Why do you want to know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Because I'm paying you.
I mean, you're right. I completely agree with you, right? But just listening to so many people over the last few years, even when Trump was in there before, people don't think like that anymore.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I agree.
They don't think like that anymore. The 2-week thing, I think 2 weeks is so professional. Be professional in life. Give people 2-week notice. But just simple things like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That have been going on for years. Well, F them. They don't care about me. I'm a number. You're right about that. But they did pay your salary. And you bought a house off this company from working here. You bought a car from working here. Your child has been fed from working here. But screw this company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't understand. Dude, there was, I'm on a text chat, and I'll be careful how I say this, but there was in the text.
Like Ruslan, careful?
No, I mean employee.
Oh.
Careful.
What's up, wrestling? We'll take an interview any day, bro. Hit us up. We'll blow your ratings out the roof.
But in the text chat, somebody had asked a question, an application question,
Yeah.
to somebody else on the staff, and I think the person forgot they were on a mass text chat, and the person responded and said, "Now they were not on vacation, middle of the day, not on vacation."
Yeah.
And their response was, "Bro, I'm on a 4-wheeler stuck in the mud right now. I can only text. I can't call. I'll hit you up later."
Uh-huh.
Because when you're working from home, those are the kinds of things, if you're an employer, you will come across that your employees, you're thinking they're working and they're 4-wheeling.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And so it's like that when they give you that latitude and leeway, and all they ask is, can you fill out the reports?
Yeah.
That's all they're asking. Now, I can tell you that didn't make a big deal because the person that did that did well. So it's kind of like, okay, listen, we'll give you some latitude. But if you didn't perform and you're not performing, and that text comes through like that, that's the first place they're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not performing, because you're not coming into the office. And so after COVID, we went through that transition. We lost all kinds of salespeople because they didn't want to come back to the office.
Oh.
And it's just like
They got used to the
they got used to it.
what's it called?
Remote.
Yeah, remote.
And what honestly, I fought it a little bit until but my thing was, after Ezra was born, I realized I can't be home
Yeah.
because he was climbing on me. And so I was like, I got to get to the office because I can't get anything done because he's just climbing on me all day.
Yeah.
And so that, but I'm not in my 20s. I'm in my 40s. But people that don't understand that world, it's like, oh my gosh, they're like, dude, what are you talking about? That's the real world.
Yeah.
If you had staff, David, and your paid staff, church is growing, and you can't manage every moment of everyone, don't you kind of want to know what they're doing?
Yeah.
Because the buck falls with you.
I think I would guess it matters. If you're in a factory, then there's production. It has to be there. But I think there's some places where it's like not based on time, but based on job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, if this takes you 8 hours or 3 hours,
Exactly.
get it done. You want to go quad running, do it, knock it out in 3 hours, but do it with excellence and do it right.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's what type of job that is.
That's why that didn't become a problem.
Yeah.
But if it was a person who was not effective and that was said,
Yeah.
that text would have got him fired.
Yeah.
Because that's the first place they would have started searching.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part people don't understand. It's like, dude, that's just the real world.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to pay you just to pay you.
I mean,
Well-
$20 an hour at McDonald's, tell them that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. Just like David said, I've always been the guy who is, oh, this is how you want me to do it? Yeah. Okay. Why? Am I not getting my job done? No, you're doing fine, but I don't like the way you do it. Why not? Like, the end product is the end product. That's what we're all after. You need these things to get shipped out. They're all getting shipped out. Did I miss something? No. Then why are we talking?
Yeah. Now, if there's 3 things of procedure that have to be followed, but you do it however you do it, follow these 3 things for communication reasons. The rest of it, that's on you.
Yeah. OSHA shows up, then, hey, man, I'm good. As long as OSHA does it, you know what I mean? I'm following procedures in my own way. OSHA sees it. We're going to be solid. But it's just like you said, if it takes you 3 hours, it takes you 8 hours. Now, unless it's something that's demanding every 3 hours, that's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when you're working remote, I mean, dude, if your numbers aren't matching and they're talking to you, well, then there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Nobody's babysitting you. You're a grown, you're a grown up. You're an adult, a grown adult. Don't be mad at them for checking in on their money.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
You wouldn't do the same. That's why you don't have your business, because you wouldn't check up on those people. See what I mean? It's just, that's the way it goes.
We were talking about our boys' cleanliness.
Oh yeah.
I've got one. If they come downstairs and one says, "Hey, did you clean your room?" Yeah, I cleaned it. You know what? I'll take his word for it. The other one tells me, I'm going to go check. Why? Because it's called history.
Yeah. No.
You know, where I won't say which
Joy Reid.
I won't say which one's which. But you know, but there's one that's got good history in this area.
Yeah.
Another one's got bad history in the area. But it also depends on what that is. If you ask me, hey, did you know, hey, I need you to help mom. Okay, and I come home. Hey, did you help mom? And one of my sons says, yeah, I helped mom. I ain't got to ask mom. I know that son. I know he helped. I don't got to follow up on that.
Yeah.
The other one says, yeah, I helped. Hey, babe, did he help you? No, he wasn't helping at all. See, but it all based on personality. And I tell him, I said, listen, this is the way credit works. It's called history.
Yeah.
You got bad history, you got bad credit. I'm going to check up on you even more detail with a magnifying glass. Why? Because you got bad history.
For me, it's the phone.
The
It's like,
phone.
oh, yeah, man, you cleaned your room? Yeah, because all the rooms are
Yeah.
upstairs.
Send me a picture.
Yeah. No, I want a video. I want a video, and I want it right now.
And then you hear,
Yeah. So if they send me a video right away, that means it's clean because they got no problem. They go up there and record. But if it takes a little while, oh man,
Why are you laughing, Justin?
dude. One time, one of the kids, man, they sent me back a video, and it was a daytime video,
no.
and it was in the evening.
Oh.
I said, see how dumb you are? Look it. What's wrong with this? It was like, what? My room's clean. Really? How come it's in the day?
How come it's stamped September 12th?
So I mean,
Oh, that's good.
I love it, man. A for effort.
That's funny.
Put that into some good use, man, and watch your life career just explode into success. You know what I mean?
But yeah, no, that's just adult life. That's just adult life. But I heard that a bunch of people did come back to the office at federal employees.
Oh, did they show up?
That a large number of them ended up returning.
Yeah. Well,
You wanted to, David, you wanted
Yeah.
to talk about Congo.
Let's transition.
actually, before Congo, let's save Congo last.
Okay. What
So-
time is it?
5:44.
Yeah, 5:44.
Okay.
The thing I want to show this thing, but I want to set it up before he plays it. Is this George Janko?
Oh, yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was co-host with what's that
Logan
dude?
Paul.
Logan?
I think it was Logan.
Yo,
Or is it Jake Paul?
And then they got into it. Well, I don't know, one of them. And then he basically the blondie made fun of the other guy's Christianity. And I remember that's the first time I ever heard of George Janko. Anyways, now he has this podcast, and then he's been getting a lot of Christian people on there.
Mm-hmm.
He's been really searching God, you know. And I've seen some podcasters be overcritical of him, but the guy is the guy has no problem saying, "Man, I'm just learning, I'm just asking." You know, and he asks really good questions. He's like, I'm really asking because I'm searching. You know, and I remember in the beginning, like he was dropping cuss words, and
Yeah.
then he got these two girls on
They
there.
checked them on that.
They
Yeah.
checked them, and he says, you know what? You're right.
Mhm.
You know, because he went in there saying, I could cuss, I could do, you know what I mean? And then so
Because there was no way a dude was going to do what they did.
the
And
women,
him, and him
Yeah.
receive it in that same way in the stage where he was at.
yeah. You know, so I've seen it. You know what I mean? So I've seen it. So anyways, like I said, I wouldn't watch him to learn. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it was interesting. It was watching somebody come to terms the same way Joe Rogan slowly is, the same way Jordan Peterson slowly is. You know, so I appreciate that. I appreciate even though he tends to dwell a lot on sin, but most people do because.
Even Tim Pool.
Yeah. Oh, really? So
yeah.
mostly people do like either new people deal with sin or they always want to talk about the end days.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? So anyways, so he did this huge forum where he called it the Christian Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
And a few days ago, and he got all these Christians, those two girls
Yeah.
on there, and that father and son, they go do evangelizing out. I don't know their names. He had Ruslan on there. Who else did he have on there?
I didn't get to watch it.
Oh, that Asian dude that he
Johnny
Johnny something.
Yeah, I forget. his
Yeah,
last
he's all
name.
tatted up too, and he had all these people. And here's the thing: he didn't go looking for the most influential Christians. He went and got Christians that he himself it's helped him that he found on YouTube. So each and every one of them.
Was this a one-time deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so. Yeah, because it was nearly impossible. How you can get all these YouTubers in one room? You know, they got their own stuff going. And anyways, I thought it was a great episode. I thought it was a really good episode, even though I think he dwells on sin a lot, but I don't blame the guy. He's asking questions.
Can you explain when you say I didn't get to see it either?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've been out the game for a bit. So I'm trying here. That's why I'm on the.
Yeah.
Can you explain what you mean when you say he
dwells on sin?
Yeah, he dwells on sin. What does that mean? And I know that might sound stupid, but I'm trying to.
No, everything is like, it's almost like, man, I want to live a good Christian life so I don't go to hell. I want to make sure I don't have sin. I want to make sure that I want to cross my T's and dot my I's on how to live a Christian life, because I don't want to, live a life of sin. Like everything is sin. So
It's more sin conscious
it's
than
sin
righteousness.
conscious than righteousness, right? Instead of this, instead of saying I'm going to fall in love with the Lord so much, you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
not paying attention.
I
to
ain't
sin.
tripping off of that stuff.
Yeah.
But so I don't blame him.
Yeah.
My issue is, and again, man, all these people are great, but I'm just like, man, can you have somebody on there that speaks life?
Yeah.
That speaks from the place of Calvary, not Mount Sinai, Yeah. And that was my thing.
Where's the
And-
resurrection?
Yeah, and there was hints of it though. The girls brought a couple things up.
But that's predominantly most Christian theology.
Yeah,
The
very
way
sin.
the way that it's presented.
Yeah.
It's the cross with the resurrection sprinkled of something to come.
Well, they all kept talking about how horrible and filthy sinners they are,
Yeah.
and how horrible they're still filthy sinners. And he goes, man, I sin every day, and here's what my issue with that. Yeah, it's that. Here's my issue with that, is that when the average person is out selling dope, getting prostitutes, getting girls, getting this, getting that, and they hear the preacher say, man, I sin every day too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that guy's thinking? He goes, oh, so you were just with prostitutes yesterday too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they don't differentiate, nor do they
You're just
clarify
trying.
it.
You're just trying not to.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you're just trying not to do, but you really want to do what I was just doing 2 hours ago. And it just, nobody ever clarifies that. Anyways, that's not even the point I want to get to. My point with this is that, as you guys know, I like picking on Ruslan because he's the corniest dude on YouTube.
But no, I'm glad you touched on that though, David, because that's an important subject for a lot of people that are listening.
Yeah? About what, the sin?
What you just
Yeah, about the
addressed.
sin.
Okay.
And that's a big deal.
I think that's why, without even realizing why I was asking the question, I think that's why I asked it. Because I think a lot of people that listen to us and a lot of people who just walk through life, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I know I dealt with that. I tried so hard not to sin. Like, it's like, dang, I sinned again. Dang, I sinned again. Where in today's life, it's like, yes, I sin every day. You know what I mean? Because you can really get into the details, right? So exaggeration is a sin. So, I mean, do you want to take it that far?
Yeah, exactly.
You
See,
know
that's what I mean. But like
I don't do that anymore. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Like if I will say something to the fact of, man, dude, I don't live a sinful life anymore. I'm talking about, I wasn't weighing out 2 pounds of dope 2 hours ago. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like the life I lived, habitually living a double life, trying to hide from cops, trying to hide from, where my girlfriend don't know about and the wife at the same time. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff, like, and I'm like, I don't live that life of sin anymore. So, so
I detest it. I don't even like it. I don't even want it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so when I have these guys on this forum telling George Janko, because he's really learning, I don't think it does him any service. When there's pastors or these leaders that are there that he's looking up to, and they're like, oh man, I sin every day.
Beat yourself more, bro.
Yeah.
Beat yourself more.
But that's still not the point I want to get to.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So here's my thing, is that I think I brought it up, and I am not advocating for Marcus Rogers at all. I don't know the guy. I don't owe the guy. I don't really watch his channel. I think he's a brother in Christ. Everybody has their own stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think there's things that he needs to mature in. I think there's some things that he's very mature in. There's probably things I'm immature, you know? So I'm not advocating for Marcus Rogers at all. But I remember an episode when Marcus Rogers, and it hurt me. And I don't even know Marcus Rogers, nor am I a fan of his or care, but he says, hey, Ruslan, do you consider me your brother in Christ? And Ruslan goes, I don't know.
It's crazy.
And he goes, really? You don't know? And I know that bothered Marcus Rogers. I could see it in his face. I saw him actually bring that up a couple of weeks ago. And that was years ago.
Yeah.
He goes, you know what? And he said this I just happened to watch a clip, one of those short clips. And he says, you know what? He goes, all these people, they don't like me, this and that. Ruslan, he says, I'm not a brother. He goes, but you know what? I know he's a brother. I know he's going to go to heaven. You know?
I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fast forward to this thing. And they asked him about, because he's whatever.
Yes, Ruslan?
Yeah, I forgot what he is. Something in the Middle East.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Which he was raised Orthodox, very Catholic-like. And this question came up with George Janko. He says, what do you think about people that pray to saints? Right? Mm-hmm. And can you bring up that video? And I want you to go to an hour and 46 seconds. Huh? An hour and 46 minutes, I mean. An hour and 46 minutes.
Remind me when this is over to upload my YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
That way we don't ever have to watch commercials when we're...
Is that an hour and 46? Okay.
The gift of the Holy Spirit, because Jesus ascends, the promise comes through, and what happens? The same guy that denied him, through the power and strength of the Holy Spirit, stands up.
You ever seen his channel?
And begins the system of the church.
This is my favorite young man.
In front of 3,000 brothers and sisters. Yeah. And says, you guys killed the author of life, but God raised him from the dead. And this is the way it is. And they go, yep, you're right.
Is he talking about Peter?
I love you so much. It's so cute watching such an innocent, cute face just get into it, and then he gets back and is like, "You're adorable." But okay, let's dive in deeper. What about the men and women that say, "Okay, well, that was our Pope"?
So let me speak to that. So here's the thing, and I, again, all props to my Eastern Orthodox and my Catholic folks. They're gonna clip this. Both claim to be the one and true church. Both can't agree on whether Peter was the Bishop of Rome and the first Pope, or whether it's apostolic succession and you need the apostles to pass on the apostolic succession through the disciples. This is literally the schism that they have theologically. Yeah. Pope, Catholic, apostolic succession, not Catholic, but they believe in the councils. So we say, repent and believe in Jesus. That's it. That's it. Repent and believe in Jesus. So my position has always been, I'm going to let you guys fight over popes and councils and apostolic fathers, and I'm going to tell people to repent and believe in Jesus, and I think you guys could be saved. I think if you place your faith in Jesus, you're saved, right? So that's, in my opinion, that's the most Catholic position one can take. Like, that's the Catholic meaning universal. That's the most universal position one can take. So I don't care. Like, I genuinely don't care, and I like watching them fight about it. I like watching the Catholic and Orthodox debate on it.
I don't, and I'll tell you why. It's like we laugh about it, but like I have so many brothers and sisters that are completely lost because of it.
Okay,
and they do not. They rather fear the man that's on the pulpit.
Context to this.
Yeah, I need some context.
Context is this: is basically the question was, what do you think about Orthodox and Catholics who pray to saints? You know, is it idolatry? Is it okay to pray to saints and to pray to Mary, this and that, whatever? Yeah. So basically, Ruslan is like, oh, these are my Orthodox brothers. Okay. He goes, hey, man, I'm not going to get in the way. I'm going to say just, pray to Jesus. But basically, because I think he said later on, I'm not saying that you're still my brother. So he tells Marcus Rogers, I don't know if you're my brother.
Oh, I get it.
But he tells all the Orthodox and all the Catholics, if you pray to saints, you're my brother.
See, that hits totally different. That hits
you see what bothered me?
You're saying, yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. I don't like nitpicking on this dude, but I'm just saying, like, dude, you straight up told millions of Orthodox and Catholics that they can pray to saints.
We're cool.
But you don't know if Marcus Rogers is your brother.
Okay.
Because he speaks in tongues.
Yeah, because when you were saying it, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, well, can someone start at one place, end at another?
Who?
Like a believer.
Yeah.
Can somebody?
I think we all start somewhere.
But that's my point. That I didn't know where you were going with the conversation. I was just following along with what he said.
I would say the same thing, though. I believe there's going to be Catholics in heaven. I believe that. So here's the thing. Why did you give so much grace to everybody else?
But that's what I'm saying. What you said at the end, that hits different.
Yeah.
That's a different conversation.
You gave grace to everybody else, but not Marcus Rogers.
Yeah. Wow.
He's a heretic in your eyes.
Yeah.
But somebody else can go and pray in the saints and this and that, whatever. And he was in his, they're just growing. You know what I mean? Like, just like, I don't know, man.
One of the most amazing stories, I'm not going to say, this is truth. I read this in a church history textbook. And it was the story of the rich young ruler. I don't know if you've heard me tell this story.
Yeah.
And so the story of the rich young ruler comes in, and it's told a couple times in the Gospels. But there's one story, it tells a little bit of information more in Mark than it does the others. Mm-hmm. So in this, we know the story, Jesus, what do I need to do to be saved? Jesus says, do all the commandments. He says, I already do. Okay, then he says, sell everything you got. And how many times did Jesus actually say that to people? And he says, sell everything you got and then come follow me.
Once.
Yeah, he didn't do that to people. He would send them there. He would do this or whatever. Different conversation. But this individual, he gives this conversation. And he weeps and walks away. The story that I read in church history, I don't even remember where I read. I read it in seminary years ago. And it says that they believed that rich young ruler, and the reason why the Gospel of Mark had a different detail in it was because that man had a name that was revealed to us later in Acts 4, who was a wealthy man who sold all he had from Crete by the name of Barnabas.
Yeah.
And the reason why the details were deeper in Mark compared to the other Gospels is Barnabas was the uncle of Mark, who would have known that information from his uncle. And so if that was true, Barnabas fulfilled what Jesus asked him to do in Acts 4 that started the giving revolution in the early church. But that conversation that took place was 1.5 to 2 years in time. So so when I read that, it always just stuck with me. Give people their time and allow the Holy Spirit to work with them.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. That's why Jesus called him on it, because Barnabas was a Levite. And Acts tells us that. So Jesus wasn't just saying to anybody, hey, dude, come and follow me. No, Jesus was going, I'm reminding you of who you were born to be. You were never born to be a real estate agent and an investor. You were born to be a Levite. Come back.
Yeah, priest.
Yep,
Yeah.
you were a priest. And so that was the journey of his transition until he came to that truth reality after the resurrection. And then Barnabas goes, he's the truth.
Yeah.
That person, that moment that I had, I can't lose it anymore. And to me, it was always an impactful story. And so you've got these people that are going through these journeys. You got these people that, in all of that. But for him to look at that brother and just go, no, bro, you and I disagree on too many things. That to me, that's so... I want to be careful how I say it, but it's just wrong. There's just so much wrong there to that. For me, it doesn't matter how much we disagree. But there's only a few things that if you disagree with me or I disagree in certain fundamental beliefs, even as blood brothers, there's a certain point, there's a certain line of things you can't cross. Mm-hmm. But there's a handful. Yeah. It's not 50 things. Mm-mm. And one of the things that I noticed with Ruslan was he started calling out all of these things all the time. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And that, not trying to...
About Ruslan or about this?
About Ruslan.
Oh.
I didn't know that, as far as with Marcus Rogers. Yeah. I had just been listening to him, and I started listening careful. And I was like...
Ruslan.
Yeah. Probably the last year. Mm-hmm. And it just started hitting my spirit, and I was like, brother, why are you calling so many people heretics, brother? And it's almost like they say with the Democrats. What you're shouting about, you're confessing. What's going on here?
But the common denominator is when he does that, they're always Pentecostals.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
And yet you call yourself that. Are you silently announcing something?
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, that's why when you said that, I was tracking with you, and then when you brought up Marcus Rogers and you brought that and you connected that in, that hit different. That's a totally different.
And I'm not even a Marcus Rogers. I don't even think I'm subscribed to him. But here's the thing, though. Regardless of how I think about his character or not or whatever, he's a brother in Christ. He loves Jesus. He wouldn't be doing what he's doing if he didn't love Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And it's like, put it this way. If I wrote him off because of immaturity, I'd have to write off half of the men in my church. Like, seriously.
Because there's journey and then there's truth.
Yeah.
And both are simultaneous.
Yeah. So, anyways, Congo. Let's get into Congo the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So basically, my understanding is that there's a church somewhere in a village in the Congo, and they went into the church, mm-hmm. and there was 70 men, women, children, elderly beheaded mm-hmm. by a Muslim extremist group.
I heard it was ISIS.
Was it?
No, ISIS connections.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm not surprised that it happened. My thing is this. Why is nobody talking about it? Mm-hmm. How come nobody's marching the streets? Mm-hmm. How come nobody's with their banners to say Free Congo? How come we're not seeing, protesters in San Francisco? We're not seeing protesters in Washington or New York.
Yeah.
Oh, because you know what? It's just 70 Christians. And that's the thing, is that nobody wants to touch it. Nobody wants to pick it up. Why? I mean, are we nothing? And like, what do we say about that? Are we just expendable?
You want to throw in?
No, you go right ahead.
Okay. When I read it, I came across it probably first time, maybe because we had our podcast Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
Thursday, maybe Wednesday.
In the middle of the fever.
Yeah.
It happened late Thursday.
Okay, then it was Thursday late. I think it was Thursday night. I came across
last Thursday.
Yeah, and I watched the first video and just kind of went through.
Yeah,
and it said, "Why isn't anybody talking about this?" Mm-hmm. That was the first video that I seen, and it just reminded me of Jesus' statement. Basically, guys, you're gonna get looked at like you are the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
You are the parasite of all things. And it made, my mind just kind of raced to a lot of different things. It took me back to that book that I told you about, how civil wars start.
Yeah.
That at the very end, their end result, the one thing that is the most detriment to America today is Christians, because they stand in the way of civil liberties.
Yeah.
And everything. And we are the salt, but to them, we are the cancer.
Yeah.
Why in the world would we care about cutting out a cancer? And that's how it just sat in my spirit. of how the world views that, you know, and it just, but on the other side to the Christian community,
Yeah.
you know, because I was sitting and I was thinking, man, we got to talk about this next Tuesday. That was the first thing that popped in my mind. I was like, this has to be a topic. We have to talk about this on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know, because Voice of the Martyrs is doing everything they can.
Oh, are they?
Well, I mean,
Oh, you mean
all around.
Yeah,
all the
I
time.
thought you meant about that specific thing.
No. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Did you watch Bonhoeffer?
Not yet. How can I watch it?
Oh, I have it. I bought it.
I think on Paramount.
Paramount? Okay. No, I'll check it out. No, I haven't seen it yet, though.
I mean, you know the story, so
Yeah.
there was nothing romantic about being executed, you know, and it wasn't a big deal. It was just somewhere in the field. Just get rid of them. It's just you're trash, you know, and it's going to be the same thing, and it's the same thing now in other countries.
Yeah.
It's not this big old romantic moment like Braveheart, you know, where the crowd is there and he yells freedom. You know, it's just like, dude, you're just trash. Mm-hmm. You're trash, and we're just going to dump you because you're nothing.
He said this article from Open Doors.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We don't know what to do or how to pray. We've had enough of massacres, says the elder of Ca 20 Church. May God's will alone be done. This was not just an act of terror. It was a targeted massacre of Christians, and it will not stop here, says Lilia Dahaji. I don't know how to say her last name. Senior analyst for freedom of religion or belief in sub-Sahara African for Open Doors. The ADF is part of a growing extremist network that wants to wipe out Christianity in the region. If nothing is done, more attacks will follow. And, you know, it's just really, really sad. You know, when I heard about this, it was just, it was really crazy. You know, I always tell myself, man, again, I hate to, you know, talk about myself, but, you know, I always try to balance my way of living on what is going around. I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm doing it for my own sanity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, I'm dealing with some very hard, possibly the hardest things I've ever dealt with in my life. And, but look at this. This is just horrible. And it's just a sheer attack on Christianity. And it doesn't, I personally don't know any of the specifics of the family members, children, whatever it may be. Yeah. But imagine that these people had to see that happen in front of each other. Yeah. And I mean, yes, Jesus, and you know, again, here goes the word when it says that those people have a special place next to Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As martyrs and everything, that's in the word.
In Revelation, it says those that were beheaded.
Mm-hmm. And so they have a special place next to him is what they say.
Yeah.
It says, but living it out is always much more difficult. So our heart goes out to them. Our heart feels for them. This is just horrible. And if we don't do something about it, again, this is the kind of stuff, like when you said ISIS, I never even looked into the ISIS. I just figured it was just another terror group that has been doing this over there for so many years. This isn't anything new. This is just what's been recorded, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
I want to read Revelation chapter 6, verses 9 through 11. It says, when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, until you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell in the earth? Then a white robe was given to each of them, and it was said to them that they should rest a little while longer, until both the number of their fellow servants and their brethren who would be killed as they was completed.
Yeah.
Lord was like, oh, there's more coming.
You know, I'm just piggyback off of that. I want to read Hebrews 11, just 33, about 4 verses.
Yeah.
Who through faith conquered kingdoms, enforced justice, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the power of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, were made strong out of weakness, became mighty in war, but foreign armies put foreign armies to flight. Women received back their dead by resurrection. Some were tortured, refusing to accept release so that they might rise again to a better life. others suffering mockings and floggings and even chains and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn in two, they were killed with the sword. They went about in skins of sheep, goats, destitute, afflicted, mistreated. And this is the part, man, that just gets me. Of whom the world was not worthy.
Wow.
Man, that hits. That you know, because you could look at it and in all these different things, and God's just going, son, they weren't worthy of you. They weren't worthy of me. You know, and it's just like, man, you know, you don't want to. On one side, you cry and you mourn, you feel for those families, you feel for what they seen, what they felt, and all those things.
Absolutely.
And on the other side, you're going, brother, I can't even imagine what you seen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, if we sing together in a worship service, and we have these moments that the Holy Spirit is almost like there's an atmosphere that you can cut through with a knife. Mm-hmm. What is it like when you're faced with death and all you see is him?
Yeah.
And you just say, I will not deny him. Like, what's that moment? What's that?
Yeah.
You know, and Jesus, and then Jesus says, don't worry about it. When you're there, I'll speak through you.
Mm.
I just remember I always tell that story of that guy that spoke at the Grace conference. He said that they came across a village where there was no children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that story right now.
Yeah, you know, and then what was crazy, if I recall saying this or not, he said that they were all sad, but then they rejoiced. And he's like, why are you rejoicing? Because my kid didn't deny Jesus.
Yeah. That's just, wow.
You know, I've had those conversations before, you know, like when ISIS was doing it on YouTube years ago. And it was like, oh, you know, how would you be and whatever? And everybody's like, everybody around me is answering, oh, man, I wouldn't deny him either. I wouldn't deny him either. What about you, Tino? And I said, man, I would like to say from this first world country I live in, man, in my first world problems, bro, I would like to say I would not deny him. But see, like for me, I try to put myself in the word all the time. So I think of people like Peter. Peter said, I'll die for you.
Yeah.
I'll never deny you. And look at what he did.
Yeah.
But then he came back, and then look at what he did.
But all these kids
I'm
didn't
telling you.
deny him?
It's a whole, that's powerful.
all these
bro.
kids, dude.
I literally was, when he was speaking right now, I was literally hearing that story in my head.
That's insane.
That's insane. Yeah, wild. So, I mean.
Talk about, like Jesus says, unless you're like a child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the thing about it for me is like, you know, that's real life that these people are living in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you need to understand, like, that's why, like, certain people who do missions, like missionary people, like true ones that I've got to meet over my years, like, man, props to you, dude. Like, I'm not on your level.
You weren't here when Lucas was here, huh?
I wasn't, man. I was, you know.
Dude, he was showing pictures of this last few places he went, and Congo was one of them.
Oh, yeah. Congo's been a problem for many years.
And he's like, and he said, he goes, yeah, I'm gonna be going back.
Yeah, he did.
You know, and he showed pictures in Congo, you know, and I'm just like, dude.
And I just watched a video on the tribe that he was talking about where he said he's going to jump with them.
Yeah.
I knew what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
me too.
Yeah, the in the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But those people, like I've been very blessed to know quite a bit of some missionary people.
Yeah.
And I tell them all the time, like, we love talking word, just like we like talking word. But when they get into their depth of teaching, like you could just see the Spirit just click on them, like in a different realm. And I just sit there and I just shut up. I'm like a little kid, man, in kindergarten class. Like, I'm just not on that level, bro. That's a whole nother way of being. That's so like, that's Jesus grabbing you by his hand and saying, come on, let's go. We're going to go into some stuff that's really going to blow your mind. And the only way you're going to make it through to the other side is by holding my hand.
Yeah.
And if you let go of my hand, you're not going to make it. And it's not that he doesn't do that for us. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. It's really a whole nother level. You're going into demons. You're going into literally a war. And as soon as you step off the plane, they see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be Paul or the dude who gets smacked on the back of the butt? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel.
Well, guys, I think that's the end of our episode. Hopefully we, you know, gave you something to think about, something to talk to your families about, and we'll see you next week. And not sure how we're gonna do it. Like I said, we were gonna try this one shot to pre-record it and see. As you can see, the mics never shut off. Yeah. Everything went smooth. Yeah. We were able to use our stuff. You know, look at this one.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Yeah.
All right.
Great trick.
Yeah. So I do want to end this with one of the beats. So there we go. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much, Adam.
Adam, man, thank you.
If you like this beat, then you got to get a beat from Adam. What's his
Empty Tune Productions?
Empty Tune Productions on YouTube.
On YouTube.
He can make you the tightest beats.
Everything is for sale, man. Hit Adam up.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Be blessed.
Peace.
Bye.